Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and yesterday saw the reveal of Battlefield 5's new trailer, which was met with a chorus of, okay, let's call it a mixed reception. It certainly hasn't hyped up the gaming community at large in the way that Battlefield 1 did right from the get-go. But I'm here to explain why I personally encourage everyone to calm down and see the bigger picture, at least until the multiplayer reveal. And those of you who've been around my channel for a while will be aware that I'm not what some people would call a corporate shill, and I'm also not what some people would call a hater. I focus on being honest and providing you guys with the most accurate information I can manage and my genuine opinion. Now today, I could have thrown up some still Battlefield 5 images for the background to this, but I figured gameplay would be much more interesting, so you're going to get whatever I have lying around from last night on Battlefield 1, so I'm sorry if any of it's boring or bad. It's still got to be better than seeing the same few images 50 odd times. At least I hope so. Anyway, it makes sense for me to show the trailer. I'm going to show just pieces of it here because I don't want to risk a copyright strike. I've written stuff on Twitter about how to avoid it, so that's what I'm going to do. If you don't want to see it, then skip to the time shown on screen now and you'll be able to hear my opinion on it and the reveal in general and why I don't think we should panic yet. If you haven't seen the trailer or would like a refresh, here you go.
Launching grenade! I got your back. That's the rockets!
Fuck it! Hello, old friend.
So, let's address the elephant in the room. Do I think the trailer is a misstep? Yes, I do. I'm confused as to why they thought this would be the tone that would sit well with the community after the grittiness of the Battlefield 1 trailers. But I think they were trying to drive home this idea of the company, which I'll get to later, and personality, squad play, etc, etc. It was just a somewhat heavy-handed approach. Also, yes, I find some of the details to be a little odd or perhaps implausible. The very obvious inclusion of a female character, her prosthetic arm and such like, but I also kind of understand what they're going for, and honestly, it just doesn't bother me in the way it seems to bother other people. As I said, these details are implausible, but not impossible. There were females in World War II, albeit a rare occurrence, and it would have made much more sense for her to be Russian or something, but there were females involved in many of the armies, just a few of them. And it also gave some female gamers a character to connect with. No part of me feels like that's a particularly bad thing, and if we're still bothered about women being in war games in 2018, it's just a little bit sad. As I said, it's not an impossibility. It did happen, so if we could just all get on board with it and let it go, that'd be great. Much like how people had issues with the black soldiers in Battlefield 1, it's just not that big a deal. Then there's the prosthetic arm, and again it's a bit odd, but it may hint towards being part of a war story, or even part of customization, although I find that a little unlikely. But I genuinely view this stuff as inclusivity as opposed to political correctness. You are of course welcome to your own opinion, this is just very definitely mine. And anyway, my overall point here is that whether you agree with me or disagree with me, it essentially doesn't matter, because I see no reason to panic based on a reveal trailer. It simply isn't indicative of gameplay. We should all know this this by now. A trailer can make a game, movie, TV show, or anything else seem way better or worse than the actual product ends up being. And it certainly doesn't always convey what the eventual experience will be like. It's a trailer, it's essentially a cutscene. When Battlefield 5 has been released and we're 2 months deep shooting at each other in multiplayer, nobody's going to be complaining about a reveal trailer. Likely nobody's going to be complaining about any of the details I've mentioned, even if they are prevalent in the game. You're far more likely to be complaining about gun balance or campers or why that medic won't revive you. Yes, we've all been there. Because that's the stuff that's really going to matter. And this is why I urge you not to panic now. Wait for the multiplayer reveal. Wait for the game to be released even if you want and see what player feedback is like. But it's not just that. With so many people focusing upon the trailer, the actual details that were talked about during the reveal are being glossed over, and some of it is very encouraging. Even with Trevor Noah desperately trying to appear to be a fan, whilst getting key details about the game wrong. And realistically, who's this excited about playing the support class? Okay, I'm joking. Kind of. Not really. But overall, I thought he did a good job, so fair play to him. It is important that, although it may appear to just be a conversation, the vast majority of what we heard was very carefully calculated. A lot of thought goes into these reveals and the words that are said, because the words used actually matter. So when they said that a lot has been shaped by community feedback, this is good. When they said that it won't be pay to win, this is good. When they said the term Battlefield moments, this is good. And it's hard for me to be mad when they reference several things that I mentioned in my wishlist video for Battlefield 5. It'd be somewhat two-faced of me to get what I wanted and then still throw it back at the developers. There's stuff like having a reason to play, my time being rewarded with unlocks, having stuff to actually go and do and things to earn. Couple that with customization, both practical and aesthetic. This is all part of the company where you have your soldiers, weapons and vehicles, where you can add attachments, paint jobs, outfits and more. Gone are the days of your generic soldier from Battlefield 1. And before anyone screams about realism, face paint, uniform alterations and other such things have been documented as occurring during World War II. Plus, it's a game at the end of the day. It's supposed to be fun, and people would whinge if there wasn't customization. I'll also now quickly just list a few of the other things that I thought sounded like huge improvements. There's the return of co-op with a combined arms mode, the return of majority rule conquest, there's grand operations with multiple game modes and possible outcomes, there's a new fortification system which can be used to counter the destruction that's a key part of Battlefield's identity. There's weapons with high caliber rounds, so it makes a difference which weapon you're using, as some will be able to shoot through walls and others won't. There's unlocking perks as you go along, so you can have a more specific impact on the battle. There's no premium pass, so the community can stay together all the time. There's ties of war, or what I'm going to call seasons, to keep the game fresh. There are thematic rewards, and of course, the new movement system and ability mechanics, window diving, lying back to fire an LMG, throwing grenades back, and more. This stuff all has me excited, not disappointed. I think I maybe saw a PPSH in the trailer or something like that, and I want to use that. And you bet I want to use a cricket bat to cave someone's head in. So I hope you understand why I'd advise not panicking yet, and why I'm encouraged by what I've heard so far. It's just a trailer. It means very little. We have gameplay reveals to come, we have a beta to come, and we have the full release on October the 19th. Gameplay is what's going to matter. It could still be great. We'll just have to wait and see. But this is all just my opinion, and you are welcome to yours. So what do you think? How did you find the trailer? And were the details that were spoken about actually of more importance to you? Let me know in the comments below. Let's just all try to keep it civil though. Now let's quickly go to the Board of Awesome for the legends who allow you to get content from me full time by supporting the channel on Patreon. It really wouldn't be possible without them, so a big thumbs up from me. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, then the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. Turn on notifications if you don't want to miss future videos, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.